these real ones. From east to west coast, spread love, son. And while you keep talking, we count bank funds. I got no time for fake ones. Just such a crystal with these real ones. From east to west coast, spread love, son. And while you keep talking, we count bank funds. I got no time for fake ones. Just such a crystal with these real ones. From east to west coast, spread love, son. And while you keep talking, we count bank funds. Let's go.
I'm Mama, Miss Havana. Usually rock the Prada, sometimes Gabbana. Sticky for your cream and your riches. Jaja Kabor, Demi Moore, Chris Diane, and all them rich niggas. Puff Daddy pumped the Hummer for the summer. I follow in the E-class with the guys. 96 model, bad click on the stroll. Cruise control, nothing make a woman feel better than Berettas and Amarettas, but the leathers and mad cheddars. Chilling in the bins with my amigos, trying to stick a brother for his peso. If his peso, then I'm the same chick that you wanna get with. And meet me where it's hot, gotta hit the spot. If not, don't test the poom poom, 90 for 90 Donnie.
That's why you keep talking shit, count bank funds. That's right. From the back, get that ass smack. Let your man wanna do it like that. Can't work the middle, cause he thinks too little. Let me grab your tie-ties, do the cha-cha, make you scream Popeye.
You the best, Dada. Now watch Mama go up and down with the jaws. Chris, say my name, baby, and you know ain't no one like the Queen Bee. Had you speaking in French, oula, oui, oui, say la vie. Then I crack for the mistake. I act shady and feel my V8. Gator boots so late. Ooh, I see your girl ain't a freak like me or Dina. Can't fade the rhinoceros and rap. Little Kim a rookie, how preposterous is that?
That's right, the one you keep talking shit, count bank funds. That's right, the one you keep talking shit, count bank. Come on.
Right back at ya, the one Cleopatra, kicking in your stand. The money, the licky, we get the sticky, and you picky. Give me your loot, your Mac 11, then shoot. The game ain't sweet, John Paul Pete shouldn't compete. If you can't read it, forget it. Don't sweat it, I bet it. Make it too smooth if you let it. You can't stop a chick from balling. Ha ha, the la la, the drop eyes, they be calling. And you ain't know why you be kicking that old shit. We making hits, platinum and gold. I stay draped in diamonds and pearls. Inside every man is a bad girl.
That's right. 9-6, bad boy, come on.
All right, y'all knew I had to do it. I had to bring it back all the way because if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this the right way, right? So here it is. Sorry I'm a little late, but better late than never. And if any of y'all are on the West Coast, then you know I'm right on time. It's almost 1 o'clock, so I'm just a couple of hours back. But at any rate, y'all, this is the first time that we've done a glow after dark in a minute. And I am so happy to be up in here with y'all. So y'all saw the title, right? We're talking about what we're talking about. We're talking about pick me behavior. So, all right. So, what exactly is a pick me, and where did I get this idea from? So, I've been watching. Oh, hey, what's up? Cooking with Sir Senior. What's up? What's up? What's up? And I do hope that Passion of Bliss can make her way back on in. I know we got a few of the heads in here. Some of y'all are throwing y'all glowers up. Some of y'all are not, but that is all right. because we're gonna continue to glow up and to grow the conversation. So we'll see how people, where they jump in, where they fit in. So some of you might know, some of you might not. And if y'all want to, I don't know if I'll cam up, but we are live from the bedroom. We are live from the boudoir tonight, y'all, because I have an early day tomorrow, so I could not just be down in my little office area. I had to bring this upstairs, had to bring y'all to the bedroom. So that is why I'm not cammed up at the moment. Oh my gosh, that is not my boy. That is not my boy. And he got the glower up. Oh my gosh, I missed you, Jose. Y'all better know that Cash App still rings. That Cash App still rings. And I appreciate all of my Glow Nation members that have, definitely been supporting even without these lives. Y'all keep me smiling. I promise y'all do. So at any rate, talking about this topic, this pick me behavior. Um, so I saw Rob's video, right? If y'all are familiar with uh you know Rob the trucker, he's a truck driver, Team Black, who he is if you are familiar with that with that group or network on here in these YouTube streets. But he's been at it for a minute. I had uh some discussion with him years ago, and I stopped watching him for a long time. I disagreed with a comment that he made about you can date. Not, it wasn't date though, y'all. He was basically like you could f one type of girl, but not want to marry her. And I've always I don't care what anybody says about men being different than women and da 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 da. I'm like, you know what? If you got, and I use my language. No shame in my game. I use my language, and I'm like, it's not like you have two different dicks. So you can't sit up here and say, I hope I don't this video doesn't get flagged for that, but I'm just gonna say, you can't say that you are effing and loving with these two different types of emotions when you still got one tool to do the same thing, right? So at any rate, I digress. So for years I didn't watch him. But I've been back on him heavy the last 2 years. The last 2 years I've been back on him heavy. I even, we had a little exchange last year when I did get, back in his network and that sort of thing. And he didn't even remember the exchange that we had years ago, which is understandable. I mean, he has, hundreds of thousands of followers. So, and, he's been deplatformed a couple of times. So even the number that he has now is not really representative of his real numbers. He has quite a following. So at any rate, he had a video just the other day about pygmies and how that is such a odd uh an odd insult because a pygmy was not it was not someone who was vying for black males' attention on a plantation. A pygmy or a mammy, not a pygmy, but a mammy. A mammy is not the one that was vying for a black man's attention. A mammy was often setting the black man up and also turning a blind eye to what was happening within the big house with the quote unquote master, right? So he was basically stating that if anything, mammies would be working in consistent with the mindset of the group that's calling them that, not working in opposition. And you know what? I thought about that and I'm just like, I would totally have to agree. I would have to agree. Like I've stated before, I don't agree all the time on um things that Rob has said, but the past couple of years it's been pretty, like I said, it's been pretty consistent. It's been pretty consistent with him with his delivery about COVID, about masking up, about the vaccine, about collective economics. Even, recently his comments about the baby, the R. Kelly trial, like these things have just all been very consistent. They've been very consistent. And I think once again, this is a score in the right direction. Once again, with what he is stating, and I had a situation myself personally, um, with that group. Uh, hello, 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 welcome, welcome. But I had a discussion as well with that group, with a group of in opposition, where I was accused of being a mammy. I was accused of being a mule. I was accused of trying to be a pick me. And but here's the rub, y'all. And this is why I wanted to have this conversation tonight, right? Now, as you all know, or you might know, but if you don't, let me tell you, I am a mom. I'm a proud mama of a diamond and a son. I have a daughter and I have a son, right? I have a male child and a female child. Ain't no confusion over here. Ain't no Dwayne Wade situation. Ain't no Gabby U situation over here. I I gave birth to a male and I gave birth to a female. Okay. So, with that being said, I do see there is a difference between how oh, you meant the divestment sector. Yes, 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 exactly. So I'm a mommy, not a mammy. I love that. Jose, I miss you so much, brother. I know you can't see me, but throwing you all the kisses, blowing you all the kisses. Y'all put y'all glowers up for Jose, always with the great one-liners. And Jose, I'm still waiting on that picture with that beard. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, sir. Still waiting for your picture with the beard. Thank you. Yes, I did have the run-in with the divestment sector that, and this is my thing with that, right? And I told you sisters that as well. You know, like I said, I say they sisters, but some of them might be some, like it's the internet is so crazy, y'all, that some of them really might be white men masking as black women that hate black men. Like that's how crazy, crazy this whole internet thing is. But yeah, but they were coming for me because I would not denounce and support. I would not denounce black men. Won't happen. Y'all, it just won't happen. If anyone knows my story, I was married to a brilliant black man, Mensa member, lawyer. What happened. I would say predominantly what happened in the failure of our marriage was my fault. Was not his fault. I take accountability for that all the time. Like this man did nothing, but he was a provider. He was very resourceful. Um, very supportive, allowed me not to work. I never paid a bill until we were divorced. True story, no cap. And that wasn't until I was in my 30s. So, and this was a black man. And so you're not going to get, and came from two black parents and brilliant, came from a family of brilliance. Mama could cook, and she was a artist, teacher, and the father was a professor, mathematical genius as well. So I mean, you're not gonna get me over here denouncing no black men when I was married to a black man. I was raised, part of me is from a black man that to this day still imparts wisdom upon me. If anybody knows me, I'm gonna be proud to be Richard's daughter to the day I die. Okay, Richard's daughter proudly. Hello, Sir Anthony. Oh my gosh. Oh, what was my ex-husband's IQ level? I know this. I can't say what the exact his IQ level, the exact score was, but I know that in Mensa he is one of the he's one of the higher members. He's one of the higher members. I think he scored even better than Sharon Stone. Yeah, I know Sharon Stone, Gina Davis. That was some big news. But I know he scored even higher than them. Like he had his official letter and everything. It was very interesting to see that network and how that played out. Einstein was brilliant, couldn't tie shoes. What is IQ again? That is true. Not only did he could he not, well, I didn't know about him not tying shoes, but Einstein also suffered from a severe case of OCD. And he could not differentiate colors. And it wasn't that he was colorblind. He just couldn't differentiate colors. Very weird. They talked about how his labs had to be, how certain things had to be set up. He could not, he would not call blues blues, purples purples, and that sort of thing. So very interesting, very interesting. Art Banaka, how are you? Oh my gosh, y'all are here for this. I love it. I love it. So at any rate, like I said, have too many men in my family, and was married to a black man at the age of 19. Okay, so you're not gonna get me. And my son is brilliant. My son is, incredible. Just humor, funny. Not into no BS. Can listen to a song maybe like twice and have these lyrics down. And bruh, like as far as like, you know just production wise, genius level. And I'm not just saying that even because he's my son. Like Kanye, get at my boy. Get at my boy. Get at my son here, and not like get at him in that way, but you know what I mean. Kanye, he needs to see you, because I think that if anybody can understudy Kanye and pick up his style, like my son does those same like mannerisms and the same high, he does all of that the same way. So, I'm just not going to sit up here and denounce no all black men. And I'm also not going to sit up here and advocate for the abortion. Finding out that if you find out that you're pregnant with a black child, or carrying a male child, that you abort your babies, like for real. And I couldn't believe how I was in this room, and it was a hypergamy conversation, but I couldn't believe how some of the women who I had been having some pretty casual and calm conversation with, and tame conversation, how they really just got fucking ghosts when these women went on the attack with me. And some of these women, I know they had brothers, because I've talked with them in other sectors. A couple of the women I know, right at that time, they were married to black men. And when these women were coming for me, they got ghosts. And I mean, y'all, I've talked about this a couple of times before. I'm a big fan of not consistently bringing up bad situations, because they'll repeat themselves, and I really do believe that. But so I don't talk about this situation a lot, but I'm going to talk about it tonight, because the way it affected me was, my gosh, it really weighed on me very heavily for a couple of weeks, because I really just didn't understand how we could have a whole demographic of people proposing, just ridiculously proposing that you eradicate an entire half of the population, or the demographic of which you are a part of. So, sisters, once again, let me ask you, with all of this intelligence that many of you had, because many of you claim to be doctors, professors, lawyers, accountants, just all of this, right? If you are divested and you ain't checking for Tyrone and Jamal and Jameek, and you ain't checking for these niggers, let you tell it. Y'all excuse me, that's my speaker powering off. But but if you eliminate them, okay? If you eliminate them and you're divested, right? And you claim that your partner, because some of y'all weren't married, let's keep it a bean, as they say in Philly. And if I got any 215s there, y'all let me know who is here from the 215. But if you are if you are charging phones on Loop Lace, Tesla, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is beautiful. Wow. Okay, y'all, I'm reading comments. Let me not get caught up in here. That was, y'all, early on, that was one of the biggest complaints from people in my chat. They were like, she spends too much time reading the chat instead of talking about herself. So, excuse me, but y'all know I like to interact with y'all. So, but at any rate, you claim that these men that you're with, they love your cheekbones, they love your features. Let's take Serena, for example. They said that the same features that black men hated about Serena, this white man loves about her, right? And don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm a Serena fan to the day, just like today I DIE. And I can't help but to be a Serena fan because my dad is also named Richard. So I don't have all the same attributes that Serena has, but you know, um, our dads are both named Richard. Absolutely. So, but these features that are so beautiful, Richard gave her those features. Serena doesn't look like her mom. God bless. She doesn't look like her mom. Now, Venus looks more like the mom than Richard, but Serena is all Richard's daughter. Okay? From cheekbones, those lips, the forehead. Okay? Wow. So you're telling me that those same features that these others love about you, you're willing to get rid of the person that's responsible for those features, and you're willing to totally wipe that part of yourself out of existence, but you aren't the one that's a mammy. Because as Rob said, that's what a mammy did. That's what a mammy did. Hmm? If there were certain men getting out of line, that's what that mammy would do. I'm gonna let master know, and we just gonna wipe that part off. So you, in fact, ma'am, who are in favor of eradicating black men from the culture entirely, you're the one that's the mammy. So I'm gonna kick it off with that. I'm definitely I'm gonna look at the comments a little bit to see what's going on. And then I want to get into something too, y'all. In regards to, now, if anybody, I know y'all, I did get some emails today, and I got a couple of text messages. Yes, I have two phones now, y'all. I have an iPhone and I have an Android, y'all. Y'all done talked me back into to getting my Android back connected, because so many of y'all have said y'all have left iPhone for good. So I still got my iPhone and my Android. And I got a couple of messages today after we did that live. And all of you who attended that live at 5, y'all already know it was lit. It was lit. It was productive. My ace boon coon, my sister from the womb, started it off with me at 5 o'clock, and then my financial advisor came through. We had Diamond Princess up in the spot. We had a good time. We had a good time, and we were talking about some real shit. We were talking about what's going on. We were catching up. Tanjan Zoo was in the building. Brother Bakari made an appearance. Guy Nollywood. Y'all, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was biting no tongues, and it was all love, and it was copacetic, and it was unity, and I loved it. So definitely appreciate everyone who attended. But tonight I see we doing our thing here too. So, oh hey, Coach Malik. Coach Malik was also here earlier today, and she is back. Thank you. So KW Don says what? Let me see this. It says, Serena married downtime. Serena married down. Time was not on her side. He does not know basic hygiene. Well, okay, so here we go. Here we go. Thank you so much. And Vidal Boogie, I appreciate you. You know what? Go ahead and email me. Let me know if you are interested in being a moderator. My email address is groupglowup@gmail.com. Vida Boogie said Omega the plug. Got you. The use of the term mammy is projection. It is all the way around. And KW Don, I thought that I had you as a moderator. I don't know what happened. Y'all know. Okay, so please, and I've heard this too. Y'all check your notifications, check your subscriptions because some people told me that they were not getting my notices even though they've been subscribed. Some people said they can't even see my community tab anymore, and everyone should be able to, but I know this to be a fact because y'all know I do my cafe on Sundays here in Atlanta, and when people sign up, if they subscribe to my YouTube channel, I give them a dollar, I give them a discount off of my food. And there was like one day, oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. We had just incredible. It was an incredible response to a new menu item. And so I was signing up people left and right. And I was just, they were like, where can we see the pictures? Where can we see the pictures of the day? And I said, go to the community tab. And it was like three people. I mean, like it was about 15 people that day, but it was three people that I could, I literally took their phone and looked, and yeah, you couldn't see the community tab, even though it said they were subscribed, even though the bell was checked, you could not see my community tab on their phone. So y'all, please check and make sure that you are still subscribed. Like I said, I know I've been going for a minute, but I am here, and y'all, we're going to be doing this thing. We are going to be doing this thing because I have a lot of shows coming up and great guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. We're officially in Black August, so we're going to finish very strong, but I have some great guests lined up over the next couple of weeks that I can't wait to bring on and continue to have these productive conversations and not confusing activity with achievement either. Okay, they have to make sure they have the bell on black. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. If you don't get notified, unsub, resub, and hit the bell. It's true. That's great advice. Thank you so much, Vita Boogie. Thank you so much. I'm thinking of that Up Jump the Boogie song, right? With Timbaland and Aaliyah and Mr. Magoo. That song used to go hard. We gonna have to play that one. We're gonna have to play that one on the next one. But let me scroll up a little bit too. All right, so what I was gonna say about Serena. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You said that time was not on her side because yes, she wanted to have children and all, right? So this is my thing also. This is part two of the pick me conversation. Because man, like today, right? Two people specifically emailed me. One person text because, like I said, I've now reactivated my Android, and one person emailed, another person text, and they were like, "Oh, I can't believe you aren't in a relationship yet." And y'all know I'm getting prepared for a very big purchase. So I'm about to move again. It's still going to be here in Georgia, but I'm about to move. And I was just like, I made a decision when I was getting prepared for this move that I was not going to try to seek out a relationship because it's still here in Georgia, but it's not like a metro area. So this this if I were seeing someone, this would not be a type of place where I could see them and they could just come over, or we could just, do something in the area for the day. These are overnight type of trips. And y'all know my bedroom ain't set up like that. I don't do no, hey, do you want to stay the night type of situation. So I'm just like, it's probably best that I do not get involved in a relationship right now, especially with someone here in Atlanta. I'd rather just wait until, I make this move and meet someone maybe in that area, and also too, I've been doing my little statistics crunching and, Atlanta, they said that it's just too much going on. And I don't even mean the whole LGBTQ thing because I don't buy the hype that everybody in Atlanta is running around on the DL. But what I do know is that there are a lot of distractions here in Atlanta, These women are, whether they got the BBLs, whether they got them naturally, whether they just whatever. It's a smorgasbord. These women have bodies way better than the bodies that was going on in Miami. I will say that hands down, and I'm not just saying that because I am a black woman, so I'm talking about I'm biased. Of course I am biased, but I'm just telling y'all on the real. My son can even tell y'all he's 12. Man, just you go to a Walmart, man, and it's like, you know, sisters come in with their scrubs on and they still got some but down back there, That just didn't happen in Miami. Like Miami, you had to be like dang near naked. And I would say this too, man. A lot of females in Miami had guts. They had guts. Like they had butts, but they had guts. It was kind of odd. It was hella odd. But here, I see these ladies are into that yoga. They into that natural eating. They have been great supporters of the cafe. So I think it's just a couple of things, but Atlanta to me has it hands down when it comes to these women. And y'all know, like I said, I'm not built for that. I'm not gonna be fighting nobody, looking at nobody, checking no pockets. I just don't do stuff like that. I never have. I've just never had the type of insecurity in a relationship where I was running somebody's pockets, seeing if they on some numbers, checking behind them on some social media. It's just not in my interest. But what I noticed about the two men that did reach out, um, neither one of these men real um have made any real advances for me, you know. But it's like they'll check in every now and again and want to know what's going on with my love life. Why do you care if you're not trying to be in the love life? Can somebody tell me, can we talk about that for a second? Y'all know I'm putting my glower up, okay? Nah, Atlanta has some bad women. They do. BW did that. Beat that boogie said them swing is real out there. Where here in Atlanta? Okay, so is pick me behavior is like a male simp? Yeah, yes, I would say that. Y'all are asking some great questions here. Hey, educated Aries, how are you? How have you been? How have you been? I love that y'all are here tonight, for real. Um, so you say you'll do a show with me. Okay, let's do that. Email me. I need no more wrenches on YouTube. I enjoy content. Okay, got you. Well, the reason why I say that here is because everyone is wrenched up over here. It would not wrench up. I call them torches because that way I let everyone know that your input is valued just as much as the next person. I'm not one of these. I'm not one of these content creators that basically I got like a squad full of goons. Like I do that to know it just equally gives everybody a seat at the table, or just an awareness of awareness or a token of my appreciation for them being a part of these discussions. Because I feel like if I can't give you a torch, then we don't really need to have any interaction anyway. Because if I can't trust you to have positive and saying something that lift the conversation, then it's not worth. We're not supposed to be having any interaction as it is. So, and I live my life like that. And actually, Fire Roots can tell y'all, this man here can tell y'all, I live my life like that. I'm always looking to elevate conversation and situations. He is local here. He is one of my biggest supporters of Colored Only Cafe on Sundays. He is one of the San Conscious Drum Ensemble members. Welcome, welcome. Big up, big up, big up. Fire Roots, Fire Roots. Um, thank you so much. Okay, so Educated Aries said All right, all right. Sorry about that, y'all. Lost my audio for a minute. Let me see what's going on here. Ah, but I definitely was looking through a couple of the comments, and yeah, I think I would. This is why I would say I somewhat agree, right? That they want to know if they want a shot with me, but why does that like matter if you're not really trying to have, like, you know what I mean? Like you're not making an earnest play. What do you expect to get if you're not making an earnest play? That's what I really kind of want to know. That's what I want to know. If you're not really trying to um why is it so difficult to put in some real effort? Like, what are these guys waiting for? And thank you for letting me know that we're good now. I appreciate that, Jose, our rapscallion. So sorry about that, educated Aries, that you can't hear anything. I am back now. Yeah, I realize. But I was. Some guys like to save you for later. Later on what? Like this is why that comment that was said earlier by VW Boogie. Did VW Boogie say? Let me scroll up. The one who said that Serena married down. Um, educated Aries said this. I can't live in Atlanta. It's too much. Too much what? Tell me what is too much of. But let me say, the food good in Miami. The food is good in Miami. I will say that. You're right. The food is good in Miami. They don't do conch here, but y'all at the cafe on Sunday, I met two men that were from the area that I used to actually live in Miami called Coconut Grove, and they literally live like streets away from the same block that I was. It's just that the gentlemen they're older than me. I won't say much. They're about 20 years. They're about 20 years older than me. And so they've already lived here in Atlanta. Um they were already living here by the time I moved to, Miami. So we didn't interact there, but it was just amazing that we were running through the same like streets. We were going down. They knew some of the people that, I was telling them that I served on the council with. They, knew the same churches that I used to be a part of. And actually one of them went and got some, he gets boxes of conch, and he went and got, box. He had, of course, frozen. And bro, he brought that conch to me. Y'all, I'm from I'm Bahamian. Now, I was born in Daytona, but I'm from, because of my daddy, that's where I'm from, Eleuthera in the Bahamas now. And let me tell you, honey, that conch was just amazing. It was delicious. And of course, conch is very much a Miami thing. So up here, because like I said, the vegan life is very popular here. I do a variation of, instead of conch fritters, I do mushroom fritters, and those sell very well, as Fire Roots can tell y'all. But let's see here. So the reason why I said the whole save me for later, later what? Like, do they want to save me for when I can't have babies? Because they know I want them, and they don't want to have any children. One of the men he's a little older than me, but not like crazy older. And then the other man is absolutely he's a younger man. So I know you want children. So what are you trying to save me for? What is that? Oh, that wasn't you that said that. Who was that? Educated Aries. Somebody said that she married down. Educated Aries says, well, in Atlanta, I think the guys feel like the woman should put in the effort due to the ratio of men to women. I think you're right. I think you're right. So we have welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I will be short.
Oh, well,
I
please, by
owe
all
all of your
means.
time tonight.
Thank you and welcome, 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 welcome. I'm going to put myself on mute because I definitely want to hear what you have to say. So go ahead and glow in. And
No, no,
thank you
no,
so
no.
much.
I would like to have an educated conversation with you. Me and Educated Aries are very close friends, so we like to have intellectual conversations with intellectual type of people who want progress. I've
Oh,
seen,
I love it.
yes, I've seen you've been putting in some work down there in Georgia. I'll be down there in 2 weeks. Don't know if we can link. I don't know my situation.
I would love to. I would love to. Just let me know, give me the itinerary, and I would love to have you as a guest over at the cafe. It would
Oh,
be
oh, yeah,
great.
you do. You know what? It is pull-up season, so I should get my suit together, make sure it's all clean, no stains. I don't want to get roasted on YouTube for coming up.
No, I
Listen,
don't do that. I
no,
like I
no,
always
no,
say,
not
I
you,
serve.
not you, but everybody
Oh,
else
okay.
in the world will have
Got
something
you,
negative
got
to say.
you.
I'm coming with positive energy right now, so I'm coming through because you got the business going on, Black
I do.
Enterprise, Black
I
business.
do.
I believe it's Black produce too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It
I,
is. It's plant-based cuisine primarily.
right.
And but because that colored only cafe is not about who we serve, it's about what we serve, and that's melanated meals. Mm.
See what I'm saying? So I can't come down there with no hate, no animosity. I'm coming down there to get that right diet.
Got you, got
I might
you.
be eating wrong. I'm thin, but that don't mean I'm healthy. And I need y'all to realize that you might be skinny, but that don't mean you healthy. So I'm trying to make sure I got the right delicate balance. And I really appreciate people like you, the Hootie Mahatma, Dr. Sabi, and all the
Thank
other
you.
naturalists who are even the one who is being charged with a very heinous crime right now.
I know. You know what? That just literally that broke. And let me tell you, someone was just asking me about some things in regards to his views on polygamy. My business partner is a female named Gina. Gina gone to bed, y'all, but Gina is awesome. But she was just asking me about his views on polygamy literally about 2 weeks ago. And I was saying, it's just something kind of funny. But as far as I'm talking about his business acumen, I wasn't even thinking about, what has been going on with him and the females. And then this broke. But someone also said that they really feel like this has been like a setup. And I would not, I wouldn't dismiss that. I think it's very early. I just wouldn't dismiss that just yet. But my heart goes out because I have I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I can't imagine. I cannot. I had a very challenging situation a couple of years ago with just some interaction that she was having with someone her age, and I just remember thinking this, and this is how I felt when this boy was about her same age. So it would just it hits very
I have a
different.
19-year-old daughter in college.
So yeah, it hits different. It hits different. Like a lot of people, what I see. So you can understand a lot of people that say, "Oh, that just the same thing they do with R. Kelly." The people that say, "Oh, these girls and da 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 da." A lot of these people that say this that don't have children, it's like you have no dog in this fight, really. You have
You know,
no dog in this fight.
I won't give up too much information, but I will give up some. So what I've
Okay.
known in recent days, I found out there's a situation within my realm or circle to where one of the young teenagers has been able to utilize the system so that she can get out of being around her parents or facilitators and go to where she can be closer to her boyfriend, which is she goes to foster care. Now she has a bit more freedoms, but she took her little sister with her.
Mm,
I know
mm.
that little girls can lie, when
Yeah,
they
of
know
course.
the opportunity presents itself, and that it can put them in a position that they think at the time is beneficial to them.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding, and I agree. Let me just ask 1 minute, guys. If you are not speaking, just go ahead and put your mic on mute because it's picking up a reverb. Thank you, thank you. Go ahead, beat up.
I'm gonna get up off here because I see the ladies is coming up and it's about to go down. But I just want to say we have to be a little bit honest. Sometimes that young women lie to put themselves in a better position, just like young men lie, just like some of you adults are lying
We all
now
do.
to
We
this
all
day.
do. And I agree. I agree. But that's where we look for the adults in our life to check us. I shared a story. It's actually it is my best watch video. It was my response to Little Boosie and the situation last year, 2 years ago rather, when he shared that he takes his sons and his nephews to get, as he put it, checked out, and then when he caught some backlash, he recanted. But I had done a response video prior to him doing his recanted video, and I was just sharing that when I was about 13, I was very, very infatuated with Scottie Pippen. Love Scottie Pippen. And so much to the point that after Aaliyah and R. Kelly got married, I remember, telling my dad, Dad, this thing can be real. Everybody always picks on me because I talk about how much I love Scottie Pippen, but these grown men are marrying Aaliyah, so I should be able to get married to Scottie Pippen. And my dad did not hit me, y'all, but my dad looked at me with all the intense seriousness that a man could muster without touching me and said, "Courtney, are you crazy?" Like in that moment, I just remember the way he looked at me. I was just like, my dad wasn't joking. Like, this was not going to be no situation where he thought this was cute. This was not going to be no situation where I was going to say that to him as a grown man and him just going to just shrug it off. And so this is where I said yes. And not to say that after that moment, I never got into any situations that were lying or what have you, or even into any situations where I liked maybe an older man, not that much older, but definitely older than 14, 15. But I will say, because of how my father reacted in that moment, it let me know that my dad was not the one to be like, well, she grown. And I've heard men say this. And I was 14 and definitely I didn't get a butt till later, y'all. Y'all know I'm Rudy with the booty now, but I didn't get a butt until well into my 20s. But I always had bosom. Like I said, I'm Bahamian.
My guy is up here. That means I can get up soon. But yeah, you're very as I like to tell black men, because I don't know what this whole Kevin Samuels wave of skinny women things is that we should like them when they get a little bit more mature, a little bit more aged. But that's my own perspective. If you like them thin like mints without whatever, I don't like little girls. I like women. So I need your hips to be, spread as if you had a child. I have three.
Exactly.
So I can't walk up to a woman that doesn't have children. Actually, I can, and I have. But the point is, I can't look at them like a woman with children because I know they haven't even experienced a part of their body where the bones start to spread because a baby got to come. I'm way past some of this uneducated nonsense, but I appreciate some of you women who actually have a voice and will challenge what is being called mammyism, pick-me-ism, and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't know. If you're a mammy and a pick-me for black men, what are they for white men?
Exactly. And that's exactly what Rob said too, and I agree. What are you being a pick me for? Who are you? You're a pick me for white supremacy. What are you being a pick me for? And again, that's not to deride or to ridicule anyone that has decided to marry out. I have a best friend, and let me tell you, my best friend literally from the womb. We always say from the womb to the tomb. You know, our moms were best friends. So we had no choice. We're best friends. And I saw her go through a lot, you know, with in regards to her beauty being challenged. She is Nigerian, and her beauty being challenged, and her not being, you know, her features not being appreciated by African American men, and you know, her intellect being kind of, you know, disregarded. She had quite a time, you know, and not to say that she didn't try. You know, she would start a relationship and, you know, it never kind of panned out. So a couple of years ago she got married to a white man, and they've been married for a few years now. They have a, you know, 4-year-old son. And you know, these have been some very they haven't been easy conversations that we've had, you know, over the past couple of years, because you know, anyone who knows me knows that, you know, I'm a student of Malcolm X. And you know, my children even ask me, like, literally, my children are 12 and 4, and they ask me all the time, well, mom, would you be okay if I married someone that wasn't black? And you know, and I tell them, like, how I, you know, tell anybody, it would be a hard acceptance, you know, because of course I would want you to, you know, appreciate you, that these things that you have from, you know, me and your dad, you know, I would want you to continue that. But I can't live someone else's life. So like I said, they're not easy conversations. And I don't dismiss women or men that have made that decision. But once you made that decision, you're happy with it, then stand on it and just be there. And that's okay. But don't call me out of my, you know, name, because I choose to, you know, I choose to like, you know, I choose to prefer a man that, you know, has the same type of flavor, the same type of culture, and the same type of energy that you know, I've experienced only with black men. So,
If
you
if
know, that's my take.
if,
That's my take.
if I may ask you a question,
Yes.
based based on your distinct features, and I mean your skin tone, nose, lips, and body structure, do you find yourself more closely aligned to West Africans because you have more West African features, and you did mention that you're of West Indian descent?
I am. I'm Bahamian, fourth generation. I've
Behind.
never dated I've never dated seriously anybody but African American men. Um, I was recently just approached by a gentleman, an Ethiopian gentleman, beautiful. But literally 2 days later, you know, we did exchange numbers, and 2 days later, when he did call, he said that he was in fact married, and he would like to date me and stay married. And
Atlanta people.
I kindly told him that, you know, you know, my children, like, literally, I don't leave my children with sitters and things like that. So that would not be possible. We would not be able to be sneaking off away from his house with, you know, any type of interaction, adult activities. I said everything I do, you know, my babies, you know, my babies are coming with.
That is
So this
that is hilarious. But with that with that story, now I have to ask the question.
Mhm.
Inside our Black American community that we now have now, your fourth generation. I don't know how many generations I am here. Aries, FDA. I ask now, do you believe that polygamy within inside the Black American community is a valuable option for our marriage structure?
I would say this. Let me qualify my statement by saying this. Um, I come from a traditional, and when I say traditional, I don't care if what Nick Cannon have to say about it. I don't think of this as being Eurocentric. Um, my mom and dad were married just to each other.
my grandparents, same thing. So I come from a very long line of just, marriage minded folk. And the same thing with my ex-husband. His parents, they're still married, were married, and my parents would still be, I would think, if my mother was still living. And I was married at 19. So I say all that to say this. At 19, 20 years ago, let's just say that 20 years ago, you could not have convinced me that that would even be a viable option. I can say now that I think that is a viable option within the Black American culture and community, but it is not for a certain age group in that culture. And I think that the millennials and the zillennials can I think that they're going to be much more open to it. But I think that starts with the later millennials and the zillennials, definitely. With the Generation Xers and up, I don't think so. And I'm the last year to be a Generation X.
So you telling me that us old niggas ain't gonna deal with it? You still
No,
got our old nigga problem, and we gonna be like, nah, nigga, this is my stuff.
That's not for
can't
us.
touch it. This is my peen. This is my box. Don't be touching my stuff.
I like my peen. I surely do. And the reason why I say that is this. It's because, and also because of the fact that I have experienced being an only wife, but what we're dealing with now is a lot of people that are open. Like, look at this. These people are open, even deciding what gender they want to be on any given day of the week. So
the next question comes into play. Being that you're based and being that you was an only wife and you stated you walked out of the relationship, do you believe it would have been a better relationship if you had a sister wife or a sister commune, one husband, one central control, but more governors, aka women wives, in that family political
structure?
Environment?
No, because I wasn't looking for more wives. I was looking for more husbands. That's why my relationship didn't match. Yeah. That's why my relationship
in India in small communities, but it also happens in America in the Black community.
Can you expound on that point? Just what do you mean by more?
More husbands, more baby daddies, nigga. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I had I at one point in time, and just being very frank, y'all know I'm always always keep it hot with y'all, humble, honest, open, and transparent. But at one point in time, I remember just saying, if I could just have a basketball team, I wanted a man for every day of the week. I wanted an older dude I could go to church with on Sunday. I wanted a businessman on Monday. I was like, Tuesday would be my day. I wanted a young dude on Wednesday, hump day, because that's all we was gonna do on Wednesday. And I was just like, I wanted different flavors every day of the week. That's honestly what I wanted. Now, I'm not saying I lived a life like that, but mentally, that's what I thought I wanted.
I appreciate that.
So I act only because I like culture, structure, foundational things. How do you think that would have fit in? Do you believe that inner structure, in the way you just defined it, right? You wanted the man on Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday was your day, Wednesday was young person day. But how do you define that structure when you have these individual men, but they all want their own family structure?
Well, okay, so eventually, and it didn't happen at that time, but eventually, when my marriage ended, I dated a gentleman who was a Hebrew Israelite, and we dated for about 8 months, and we had a couple of there were serious discussions on his part. Like, I think that he would have definitely been someone that would have advocated for that had that relationship continued. We, of course, did not end up lasting, but he would have definitely been one that had said, that would have supported or would have been suggesting, hey, this would be something that's good to have.
It's inside his religion.
Yeah. It's inside his mom, right? And his mom actually was sought after by uh what was his name? Yao Benye. What was the gentleman's name? The
Yeah,
leader.
Yahweh Ben Yah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
Yes.
caught up in some. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, that was so his mom was sought after to be one of his sister wives. And she refused. She ended up leaving the religion, and she ended up getting she got out of the whole situation, but she had already had himself his brother. But it was something that he was more so open to because it gave in it.
So the question becomes: do you believe?
In that culture, that understanding, it's going to be a whole lot easier to adapt to it. But if you have not, then it's not going to be as easy to accept that yes, I'm a part of this structure that includes y'all. Excuse me, my cat is walking over this board right now.
It
My
happens.
new little kitty.
It happens. I would ask though: do we believe that in our time we old, so we know better? But do you believe that it's beneficial for the younger generation to practice polygamy to bring back our substantial numbers to be an actual defense force?
I honestly think because one woman, I mean, I know we have the statistics and we see what Nick Cannon is doing with building his army, but one woman in her lifetime can have up to about 30 children. So I still think that it's still a very much achievable with one family.
Hasidic Jews have a practice of where they try to have a child a year.
Right.
We
Correct.
abort millions of childs a year. So
Yeah.
if we do not think as a people of how to build an army, which means indoctrinating children like the Taliban does, we won't have a chance because, well, we have other people teaching our children. As a student of Malcolm X, you know that that is a valuable problem within our community that others are teaching our children.
I do. And that's why I made the decision at the top of this school year. My children won't be returning to public schools. We discussed and we went back and forth for a couple of weeks, with my children, especially because this would have been my daughter's first year in high school. And even just earlier tonight, she was talking about how she won't have a prom. And, so I said we would do other things, but going back to school.
Let me give you something for your daughter. My daughter turned 19, which means she was 18 during the pandemic and everything was closed down. Nobody her age had a prom.
Exactly.
The 9/11 babies, this is that year. These are the 9/11 babies that are graduating high school right now. These are the 9/11 babies. None of them had a prom or whatever you call it. Everything was shut down in the world, basically. These
Correct.
are our 9/11 babies. So my child is a 9/11 baby. She didn't have her prom or senior trip. Nothing. Tell your daughter she has a blessing because maybe later on the world will open up again. But tell her to think about those seniors from last year who weren't able to have anything. No prom, no trip, no anything. Even a junior prom, junior trip, they didn't have no fun last year. Everybody.
Well, I don't even have to go that far. I never went to any school dances. I never went to my prom, but I was married at 19. So I told her that too. I'm like, it gets greater later. I didn't go to any of them.
I was married at 23. I remember us counting all the money from the wedding. So I mean,
I know.
You like, oh my God, look at this check. She got $5,000.
I know. That was something we got matching Rolexes. That was that was that was a great little
when
time.
You pop them gifts and you popping the gifts. Everybody, if you have, some of y'all ain't been married, but if you've ever been married, after the wedding, when you open your gifts, you are actually in your hotel room and she's taking off her wedding dress or actually still wearing it. And y'all are just counting the money and the bands and the gifts. And you like, oh my God, what are we going to do with this? Because you have to take a rest before you go to your honeymoon, which should be either a flight or a drive.
Well, interestingly enough for us, what we actually had to do was that had to be postponed. We got married because I was still in college. So we got married and then I went back to school and he went back up to Philly. He went back up to law school. So we had a night together, of course, at the resort. And then yeah, he flew back up to Philadelphia and I went back to FAMU.
Man, listen, I remember my wedding. We got married, got in a limo. Actually, no, the limo once the wedding and the reception was over, was no more limos. But we already had the car rental parked up at the spot. So we hopped in the car rental, went to our hood location because we know the mirror, whatever. We talk about that later. But so we went to that spot, but we was counting the money and the gifts and all that. And then when we drove up to the resort upstate, we stopped in a place in New York where we deposited a lot of the money but kept a lot of the cash,
right,
that we could go like play with. We was like, here, let's throw this in here, but this is what we're gonna deal with on our vacation. So we took that, went to Atlantic City, lost some money there, came back up, and then by the time we came home, we still had a couple thousand in our pocket just to chill and live.
Well, that's what we did. 6 months later, after graduation and all that good stuff, we ended up we did go to the Bahamas, and that's what he did too. He liked to gamble, so we lost a little money at the casino. We were at Cable Beach, but yeah, that's what we did. So basically, what we got from the wedding helped with the first, I think about maybe almost the first 6 months, 7 months that I was there in Philadelphia. Had to buy a lot of warm clothes. I had never experienced that type of cold before. So
are you not from up north?
No, I just spent the majority of my adult life up north. Yeah, I didn't move to Philly
gotta have
until
your long johns and your
layers.
Yeah,
we had to do layers.
Layers.
Yeah, it's a layered place. I was just telling a friend of mine that I didn't even realize. I was glad to move back down to the South because I was able to take my physique and my my health seriously, because you never realize how much weight you're packing on in the North because you're always layered up. And so by the time anybody sees some skin for those 2 months in the summertime, they're just happy to see some skin. But man, when I moved back south, I got my body back together. I was like, I gotta get this stuff tamed. I can't blame it on the layers.
It's not easy up here, but you know what? You got to get on the train. The AC is on. It's cold, so you got to dress warm. When you go to your office, the AC is on. It's pumping. It's cold, so you got to dress warm. But when you're in the street, you have that natural heat, so you're like sweating like a freaking preacher on a bad Sunday. It's hard living up north. I would love to.
I agree. I tell my children all the time. If I hadn't had children, I probably would have stayed up north. But having children, I literally moved from Philly when I got pregnant with my daughter. That was 14 years ago.
Yeah, you can't be driving through the snow and shit with kids. Talk about school day, walk your ass to school through the snow.
You can't.
When I get home, and then you gotta drive to work.
And then wrapping them up just to wrap them, take them out till they need to go to the bathroom. Snuggles asked me, why am I lying so much? What am I lying about? No. I definitely
Snuggles in your chat room, like Snuggles.
Always
Snuggles is Snuggles.
That is Snuggles.
Them $2.
Okay.
Shit.
So
Diamond Princess. Hi, Diamond Princess. I hope. Hi, Diamond Princess.
Let's answer. Passionate Bliss has asked a couple of questions.
Let's see.
First, she asked, what's the definition of a mammy? So I want to let you two answer that. Oh, wait. Educated Aries dropped off. Okay. Tanjon is up here still. What is the definition of a mammy?
That's the one that used to take care of the white babies. She used to breastfeed them, take care of them. She took care of white man's children back in the days. That's the definition of mammy. The new definition is one who coddles black men and has sympathy for black men who are afflicted by white supremacy. That's the new definition of mammy. But the old one is the one who used to breastfeed the little white kids. In fact, you can find them in Manhattan right now, Nigerians babysitting little white children. That's mammy.
Let me tell you how funny that is. That you would say that, because my sister, she lives in Austell here in Georgia, and she was talking to me about that Las Vegas situation with that black woman that got all that GoFundMe money. And she said, Courtney, she had 3 white kids up there and they gave all this money. And I said, well, she said, you think that because she had those white kids, she got the money? I said, well, there are a lot of black people running around with white kids here in Atlanta, but it's like those are their children. I said, now in Miami, those were nannies. But no, in here in Atlanta, it is something like I had never seen before. Oh, I don't know who's on mic. Somebody's not muted.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I was gonna
Weigh in. Oh yes, please. I want you to.
So today's mammy is someone who coddles black men, who does wrong to black women, and then the women who go up against the victims and say, hey, it doesn't even matter what you think. Like the young pharaohs, I ain't never seen so many people, so many women, what we call mammies and pygmies, stick up for young Pharaoh after we sat down and watched him jump on that girl and accidentally hit the baby. He was trying to hit her, but he missed to hit the baby. And his excuses was, she drove me to that. So it was all, everybody seen it. You know what I'm saying? Those who didn't see it, he probably took the video down. But everybody seen it. And soon as she got on there and say her part was going on, her face is swollen. You had a lot of these mammies. We call them mammies. Oh, young Pharaoh, that's on you. You had it good and you messed up. That's what I'm talking about. These are the type of things where you do have a lot of victims, and you got your own sister that's gonna go up against you instead of listening. They're not gonna listen because guess what? They're pematized. They just take anybody. Pick me. I take the dude that you don't want. Well, I don't want to get punched in the face. I'll take him. So that's what this is what we see. This is what we seeing. Like they know what was going on, but they think it's so funny it's happening to her because it's not happening to the ones that's doing all the talking, and they're calling the abuse, the
Can I ask you a question?
behavior of black men. Yeah.
What about them chicks who be swinging on the dudes and they just be like, yo, chill, man?
I
Like,
don't know about none of that.
why we don't know about that?
No, what I'm saying is, if the dude's like it, he's not gonna complain. That's why you ask about the polygamy. What I'm talking
No,
about,
I asked about the polygamy
I'm
because
talking about the hood rat you guys like.
whoa, no, wait. Please don't miscategorize who I am and what I stand for. I asked about the polygamy because it's a cultural thing that I believe that black people should be involved in. I asked you about the women and their responses sometimes. And the answer you gave me is we're not going to talk about that. But I get it.
Saying we're not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about something I don't know. All I know is what I see.
Would you swing on your dude?
Wait. All I'm saying is, and I'm a woman and I'm a mother and I have a son and a daughter. I want you to hear me out because I'm sensitive to all of this. Okay? All I hear is what my brothers want to see, what they like, what they go after. And if y'all don't promote that, you won't see it. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta sometimes take accountability. Just like the women that was dancing all nasty inside that black man's establishment, he had to cuss their asses out. I excuse my French for cussing on her channel, but I think that was right for what he did because he's trying to make an establishment. But the brother, he kept putting on the swing your ass music on, and he just told the brother to turn that music off. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And brother just want to see the females get up and just do the nastiness. It said, dude, you're promoting it. First of all, you're hired to work for this black man's establishment. He got a restaurant so sensible black people can go and sit and eat at a restaurant. And you decided, ooh, it's a lot of females up in here. See, that's what he was thinking. A lot of women up in here, boy, they fine and anything. So he puts on the swing your ass music and they getting up doing the thing. And see, something about these music to me, I'm not for. I just think it got spirits in there that make people do stuff.
I would love to explain that to you real quick.
Oh, okay.
It's not my angle.
I want you to explain it to me, brother. But let me I want you to explain that to me, but let me finish the whole
Spit
thing.
your game.
People are starting to get upset with the brothers. Some of the sisters, I'm talking about the same sisters that would cuss out a woman like myself for being jumped on by a man who lived in my house, eat up my food, and take my money, and I'm being submissive, but yet I wasn't good enough for him because he wanted to still swing around, be with other women. Them the same females that went there and started throwing a little ass around because the dude want to put on the song and see that, you see. And we talking about this type of environment. We're not even protecting our babies. What happened to that little girl? They already found the semen. They already mashed him up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not my question to you when you answer this question is, what do a little girl get out of being allegedly taken advantage of by a man? I'm talking about she's still a child. It's the kind that you need to be helping her with her homework. If she's acting like she wanna be a little fast because her mama, she been around her mama been doing some stuff because she don't have a father, he left her a single mom. So what are you doing to help the little girl because she got done by a grown man? The grown man got to take accountability that he's touched the little girl. I don't care what she try to do, little girls can't lie for being having sex. They gonna do that sex tape, that sex kit, and what she's gonna get out of it. There's no money, there's no there is no
if I may
value in
interrupt,
money. There is no value in money. Fame, they ain't gonna do nothing but get you killed.
right.
That's why I was trying to tell Megan
If
Courtney, don't be sending your son to Kanye West.
if I may interrupt real quick, right? Because I have a scenario that's going on
Okay,
inside my inner circle. But the allegation was being put upon a woman. In fact, a family member woman, and the kids were removed. So I get what you're saying, and I understand it and the passion. But should I go live now and say kids were removed based on what this black woman did to the children? I'm not going to do that because it's degrading to our community. But everybody's asking a lot of black men to be accountable for Brother Polite. No, I'm not going to be accountable.
Anyway. What about you talking about the
no?
woman who lost both her babies?
What?
You talking about the woman who lost both her babies?
No. I just said this. I said it's inside my own inner circle.
Well,
literally, it's going on in my life right now.
Oh, your life.
My life, literally. The girls are lying on a woman, or they're telling their story on a woman, therefore being removed from the household. So allegedly something happened, but it didn't happen with a man. It happened with a woman, and ACS will move your ass the fuck up out of there quick.
I'll go anybody who ever touch a child. I don't care who it is.
Right. But this is happening to a woman, a black woman.
But brother, you gotta admit now. I know you be on them YouTube streets. You know, there's a lot of these brothers all on YouTube talking about if the young girl is 9 years old, she got a menstrual cycle, she's good to go to be a wife, and that's pedophilia.
You know what? I believe you. That's right. I've even heard some of the men. Now I'm gonna come up here and tell you. When I was 15, I was dating a 25-year-old woman, and she taught me everything I needed to know about sex. In fact, the woman I got off the phone with before I got up on this show will tell you that I damaged her based off my sexual knowledge that I learned from the woman that came before her.
But you said the proper word. You said you was 15 when you were dating a 25-year-old woman.
Right.
So,
what does that mean?
But look, I need brothers and sisters to stop trying to enter. Wait. I need brothers and sisters to stop intercross sexual intersection and breeding with each other, because I'm not gonna do man shit. I'm not gonna think like a man.
Right.
Wait a minute. I'm not gonna think like a man. I'm not for real. I gotta actually talk kind of butch for my son so he can understand. I don't want him being feminine because he don't got no father in his life.
Is your son a man? Is your son a man right now?
My son is a male child, but he don't have a father.
Is he a man?
Wait a minute.
No, I didn't ask you that. Is your son a man?
He's a male child. He's a
Is
man
he
child.
a man?
He's a man child. He's my royal son.
What age does he become a man?
Wait.
No,
stop,
you
because
keep
I'm
going.
not
Wait,
pedophilia. I don't do pedophiles for boys.
I don't like little dialogue.
boys.
I would like to have
little
dialogue.
boys. Let's be on my level right now.
You're hostile. You reacting.
Please be on my level. This is bothering me. because I've been a
Yes,
victim,
I
and
know you're
I
triggered.
was ignored. I was ignored for a
I'm
long
not
time.
trying to
I
ignore
wish I was in
you.
Courtney's channel, because if on Courtney's side, because if I had the husband Courtney had, I would have found. I know I can keep him. I'd have kept him, and not to put my sister down. I would have kept him because I'm a one man's woman. I only believe in one relationship. I only want one. I don't want to do all this. I want all these, because
Have
a lot
you
of us are
dated a
not like
lawyer
that.
before?
A lot of us like that. I have
Um,
been in two abusive relationships. They were 16 years apart. Both of
okay.
them have the same sick mentality. Okay, and it's not the same as Africa. If you're gonna be in polygamy, you gotta have money to take care of these women, honey. You gotta have mansions or
Listen.
homes. You gotta have your own homes.
My sister,
I have
my
four.
sister,
I got four African people I grew up with,
my
and they
sister,
asses went back to Africa.
my sister.
Okay, they went
You
back to Africa because they was gonna marry their 4, 5, 6 wives. You can't do that in
right.
California.
My sister. You in your bag right now, and
No,
I
I'm not in my
honestly
bag.
don't have it.
I'm being honest. I'm
Can I
being
answer the
honest.
question without you interrupting me? I don't want to have a.
Oh, well, but you always interrupt me, and I don't say nothing. I'm gonna
Um,
interrupt you back. We interrupting each other. But see, I don't get a chance to say what I finished because you want to ask the
I'm
question
not
because
the
you
one.
can't hold
Listen,
water.
little mama. I'm not the one that interrupted you or stopped you from
Yes, you
saying
did.
something through
That's
your
what
life.
is now.
I'm actually trying to have a dialogue and conversation with you right now.
Okay,
It
let's start all
seems
over.
that you're not willing to have that. You would like to express
No,
yourself to me.
I'm willing to have it.
Wait. Now I'm talking. I would like you to listen and absorb what I'm saying. It seems like you would like to tell me about what you want to say and what you weren't able to say earlier. And all I'm saying is, I want to have the conversation and dialogue. But right now, after this, I don't got the energy for it no more. I'm
Okay,
wait, hold on. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna allow you to do your thing. I'm gonna throw this shit up on the jumbo jiggy, the screen. Oh, Aries is here, so I'm gonna listen to everything you gotta say. I'll come back to Courtney's channel when you're willing to have a dialogue and discussion on why you might have this animosity or why I might even
I
have
have
the
any
animosity.
animosity.
Right now, you're a little hostile,
No,
and
I'm not.
as a black man should be, I'm going to say I'm gonna fall back, let you relieve that energy, and then when you're able to talk to a respectable black man such as myself, then we can have a respectable conversation. But right now, I gotta just pull back from this. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Respect you with all love, Courtney. Thank you for letting me on. Aries, don't hail a pit, hail a pit.
Thank you so much, also, Be That Boogie. And please, if you're not speaking, Ken John, I think that's your mic. You have to turn the mic off. You have to mute because we can't. Yeah, we can't hear. It gets a reverb. But we do want to have healthy dialogue, and that's going to have to go from both sides, definitely. But I respect you coming up to the panel and starting the exchange in regards to polygamy, also dropping some knowledge in regards to NAMI. Thank you also, Snuggles, for posting those facts about what the definition of a NAMI is. Very helpful. And y'all, my cat is being a little frisky tonight. I have a new kitten. He is a baby cat. He is the only male cat in the house, so he likes to take up with myself and my daughter. He likes to be up underneath the ladies. So, excuse me. But welcome back to the panel, Educated Aries. Wanted to get your contribution to this conversation. So I had a question.
Yes.
I do want I would love to have a male weigh in on this. We kind of started it. It got expounded, or we digressed from it. We detoured from it just a little when we went into the polygamy question. But what I saw, what I have experienced rather, in regards to this whole pick me conversation, mammy conversation, even as the men who have come when we've had kind of these hypergamous divested conversations, even though the men say, hey, these women that are, speaking up for Black men, you guys are, beautiful queens and that sort of thing, they still are not they're not. Some of them are. A lot of them in that regard. They're not. They're not basically doing the same type of caping that the that we have done. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say, "Oh yeah, we appreciate you," but you're not doing the same type of you're not showing it in the same way. And I just wanted to know, like, why is that? Why, like, I personally, I want to, I'm asking for me. I ain't asking for
Mhm.
a friend. I'm asking for me.
Well, I think that on YouTube reminds me a lot of high school. Um, Men say and put on a performance for other men because they don't like being singled out. So it's kind of like they want to join in on the mob. But I also feel that you need to look at their actions because these also, lots of times, are the same men who are secretly sending messages to those women who they like to put down, trying to get in contact with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I've experienced that.
that.
Slid into the DM. You
Right.
know,
So I mean, it's a situation where it's like you need to pay attention to more to the actions and less on the rhetoric to see how men genuinely feel about women. Um, so that's just my take on it. I sit back and I just study. I've never been a guy who just attack women and down, especially black women, because black women are everything in my opinion. But nevertheless, that's just I pay attention to the actions, and a lot of dudes have been called out because okay, you're gonna ridicule a woman, but at the same time, that same image that you put down 5 months later, you emailed her and she put you out there. So typical stuff, in my
that has
opinion.
happened to me definitely. I was a guest on, CA, uh what's his name? Mr. Research.
Yeah, no research, yeah. That's my boy.
I was on his panel, right?
Oh,
And he was, doing, what he does, which is
the
we were
rhetoric for
having a
sure. Hmm.
dialogue. And the dudes were, yeah, get her, get her. Oh yeah, she need to know what you talking about. You doing it. When I tell you the moment, not even the moment that show was over, my email went off. I had about 8 messages. Oh, I thought you did real good up there, Queen. It's,
Right.
hi.
But they're afraid to come out there and say that in front of other men because they scared of the pushback. They don't like the idea of being singled out, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't give a damn who talks about me. Trust me, they've made videos about me. I don't care because at the end of the day, I stand on my own.
I
So
agree.
so it
I
is what it
agree.
is. Plus, I mean, I know who I am. So others' opinions of me really don't mean shit. So at the end of the day, um, I'm gonna speak my mind, and I think that that's a characteristic of a real, genuine human being, not just a real man, but a real adult, man or woman. So
Absolutely. And just standing on your square and being accountable. And I think that you're very right when it comes to when it comes to what you said about uh YouTube being a bit like high school. So, I noticed that, I took a little hiatus for a little bit. I still was, posting in my community tab and, you know, interacting with my Glow Nation who interacts with me. And I do have a little, kind of chat group aside from YouTube that I interact with some of the members here of the channel. But I was very surprised that when I came back, because I started coming back to panels maybe about 2 weeks ago. And so, but when I came back and I was on a couple of panels, I was just like, wow, I would have really have thought that some of these conversations would have subsided by now with all of this. I mean, hasn't the pandemic shown us how much we really need each other? Hasn't that shown us that?
one would think that if you were optimist, but I feel that it just gave more fuel to a fire. I think that it definitely has exposed some flaws in our community. Well, our online community.
Online community. That's the key right there. Not just online, but on lying. That we just will
Uh,
keep we keep on lying online. Like, some of those women that were talking to me so incredibly just disgustingly about what type of mom was I, how, I should let my sister raise my daughter because clearly I wasn't, I was going to be pandering to my son all the time. And I was like, wow, if only they knew. My son often, we have to have these conversations because he feels like, I give him more work than anyone else, of than my daughter in the household. So
mhm,
they don't know these things, but they're coming at you saying these disgusting things. And so, because my background is journalism, I'm a degree
mhm,
journalist. I can do some research myself. So, I took a couple of these names and I just kind of cross referenced and did some homework, so to speak. And one of these
mhm.
women is just full fledged. Live, she's married to a older black man, and it's just like, where is he while you're while you're denouncing all of this black male energy? Like, where is he while you're doing this? And then she another woman was, I believe it was her father's house. That's what it was. It was her father's house. I saw her in another chat two times over, and she's basically just talking all of this horrendous stuff about black men and black men need to be aborted. Where would you have been if your black father was aborted?
Mhm,
I mean, we is is
mhm.
is very it's very ridiculous.
Let's hope that
Let's
person.
see.
Let's hope
I
that
don't think
person
she
doesn't
was.
live in Houston. But
I don't think
nevertheless,
she was literally. I don't think she was literally talking about. She was basically, there was some things that was happening, and there was a couple of YouTubers that was talking about they can't wait to see black women get killed and raped off, and literally saying it on here. Like, there's like, these are some famous YouTubers some people follow, and you have women that will call these particularly psychopaths and start talking to them and asking questions, and and I'm hearing them, they literally calling them B words and answer the question, answer the MFing question, and this is what I'm talking about. When you see this type of stuff, and then you see that women who go through, I'm talking about real women and young girls who go through some real stuff, they're being ignored. They're being ignored, or they're being told you were being fast, or they're being told all these things, and instead of saying, you know what, I don't give a hell what it is, this is not tolerated. And because we don't get that, and it's always this pushback or this anti-black women sentiments, it's more of that going on than black women doing that to black men, because a lot of us want our black men. But if you're not going to be right, and see, I finally opened up because I kept it quiet. As a matter of fact, I argued with one content creator a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago, and I told her when she started describing these real, I said, yeah, they out there, but not all black men are like that, not all. But see, ever since that pandemic came, it started bringing out the trueness of a lot of them. And see, a lot of people are not that. So I'm starting to see a lot of folks starting to ignore that. Oh, well, that's not me. No, I'm when we say black women don't get protection, this is what we literally talking about. Like, when you got a real black man that sit there and look at that like, dude, I don't fall for that bull crap, and you're not gonna disrespect me by disrespecting the sister. I need you to fall back, man. It's or it's gonna be just me and you, man. Oh, I don't want you going after the woman. Talk to me. I'm a man. See, you embarrassing me as a black man, and that's what a lot of us want to see, and we're not seeing it. So what she said was, since they don't want to help, that you want to blame everything on white supremacy, but you want to attack the woman and blame the woman for it. And a lot of us are behind closed doors with a closed mouth, and we can't say nothing, and if we do, we get punched in it. You see what I'm saying? That's not fair. That ain't right. That means he don't need to be in a relationship. So that's why she
Can,
said, well, since they don't want to get their life right, I think we should abort them all. But me personally, to me, I'm done with black American men. I won't do it ever again. But I'll
Amen.
tell you one thing: I would love to go out and and divest myself into black Caribbean, black Cuban. I do have Cuban blood in me. Why not try West African brother? Why not a
Amen.
Jamaican man? So these are just the things where we saying, like, I get it, it's the frustration, but a lot of a lot of the moms are being single. It's too many single moms, and there's too many guys bouncing out with poor excuses of why they're bouncing out. Don't want to take care of
That,
responsibilities, and that's how come. I don't
mhm.
fault all
All
black
right.
men because a lot of the brothers, you're cutting me off. A lot of the brothers are. There's some good black men out there, but it's very little, very small, very little. They love their black woman. They don't even find a woman a problem. If it's a problem, it's gonna be with him and the man. He ain't finna be in with females' problems. He's not even gonna go in their way. He's not even gonna look at a little girl. He's gonna protect her. He's not gonna look at her. So that's all I gotta say. Now mute my mic.
Um, I I do have a question for you. Do you think that the problem is? I do feel what you're saying, and I think that the issue seems to be even worse online versus in real life. I think that um YouTube has become the replacement for mental health lots of times because instead of people seeking mental health, they act out by spewing rhetoric.
I
Okay,
agree, but at
and
the same time, you have to realize, educated Aries, you see how you sound like you are a very good man, and you don't harm nobody. You ain't the type to harm nobody or put down no one. But I tell you like this. They do that at home behind closed doors and see they want to expose who they really are, but they just don't. It's just a certain way of doing it. Like I believe Young Pharaoh. To be honest with you, me and him went back and forth a year and a half ago. You see, and I was just curious of why do you spit this false knowledge? You know what I'm saying? And these young folks is following you because I didn't like how he was talking about the women. You first of all, you would go to beauty, so why are you doing all this stuff
Okay,
like you doing?
I gotta be a great
So what I did, so
sister,
he
sister,
started telling
sister,
me about
sister,
Egypt and everything,
sister,
right?
sister, sister.
So I
Hold on,
figured
hold on, hold on,
I
hold on, hold on,
figured,
hold on, hold
wait
on,
a
hold on,
minute,
hold
brother.
on. No, 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 no,
I
no,
figured
no.
he was
We
already
waited a
doing this
minute
stuff
the
because
first
now he's
time.
exposing who he is online.
Oh
So
my
that's what I want to
god.
say.
Yeah.
You
So
know what I'm
young
saying? They be doing
is
this stuff already.
so is
But
young
see,
Pharaoh the representative of all black men? Is that what you're trying to
it
tell
does,
me,
but brother,
Aries?
you gonna have to go after him and say
No,
that.
no, no, no,
You
no,
tell
no,
the black man
no,
that. You see,
no,
that's
no,
what I'm
no, no,
saying. That's
no,
the
no,
problem.
no, no,
You're
no.
going after black. See, your
You
energy
are
draws me to be
perpetrating
louder, and I don't like that. I
your
don't want to do that, brother. I
your
don't.
your
I'm
energy
saying
already
that that's some stuff that you have to do with
your
Pharaoh.
energy
See, when
sparks this.
something is foul with
You're a
him,
very
when it comes to
hostile
women, and that's not you, you
individual.
gotta tell him,
You
say,
are
look, man,
not a
that ain't
go ahead.
cool.
May I
well
speak?
comprehensive
Now let me
person.
mute my mic.
You don't want to listen. Now let
Hold
you
on.
mute your mic. You muted your mic and then Aries talked and you unmuted yourself after telling us to be quiet. What is wrong with you, woman?
I didn't tell you to be quiet, but you keep cutting
What
me
do
off, and
you
you want
said
people to
let
stop
you
cutting you
talk.
off.
You said let you
I'm
talk.
just saying, you don't have to
We
call the
let
kettle
you
black and
talk.
stop.
No, we let you talk.
I'll listen to you right after I fall
I
back.
tell you what, Aries,
But
go ahead.
I educated Aries. You're right. I just think they were doing that the whole time behind closed doors, but they want to expose who they are,
I
like they've been
surely
doing
hope
on
you're
Instagram
divested.
and
I
Facebook.
swear, I hope you're
Now it's
divested.
YouTube, and the pandemic brought it all the way out. That's all. That's my
All
Wow.
answer.
right.
We got
So
7
I
white men.
I do agree that men need to check men, but I also feel that we can have a dialogue between genders. Also, so if that was a question, so what was the question
It wasn't
that you wanted to
one.
pose
I,
that you posed?
oh, I'm so confused now because I wanted to ask initially, why would you ask us to let you talk and not interrupt, and then expect not to be interrupted? First thing, but you don't have to answer that. Who cares? My thing is, you're very hostile towards what you feel is like this black male agenda. Like young Pharaoh is. Your microphone is on again. I know you want to respond. We can hear the echo. Calm down. But young Pharaoh doesn't represent all black men. Yeah, Brother Polite doesn't represent all black men. You got D. Rails and other representative, respective black men that are walking around out here. We raise our children. We take care of our families. We actually stand up for the black community. And I'm not even particular about the B1 and all that other stuff, but we got to sit down and listen to rhetoric such as yourself and the divestment community and accept that and then respect the conversation.
Well, listen here. I'm listening to both of you. I'm listening to educated Aries, and I'm listening to you. Now look at the two different pairs. You don't even represent him this well. He doesn't represent you. And the fact that he sat there calmly and said, "Hey, I agree. There's some effort going on, and black men do need to check black men, but we can't have a proper dialogue, and that's fine." But see, when you get on here, instead of you say, "Hey, I disagree" or whatever, you're telling me it's rhetoric. You spitting this, you that. I couldn't. You this. You sound like a little kid. And see, you saying all this, you
Ma'am,
spit. You
ma'am,
sound like a little kid, and you're
ma'am,
cutting me off
those
again.
I've
I'm not
never
even
said
finished.
those words.
And I'm
I
saying to
never
you,
said those
I'm
words.
saying to you that I'm not on your
Wow.
page. I'm not on that level. I'm not on that anti-black male hatred stuff. So you can just
Wow.
throw that in the garbage right now. I know good black men. If you would have watched my channel last night, I sat there and went off on them dusties, and I told them straight up, don't you hide behind good black men. Don't you ever
What is
hide behind good black men. Now there's some real good black men that's gonna go after some black men. They're not gonna talk to me.
all
So
right?
that's an alpha.
So
An
now,
alpha not gonna talk
now
to me.
that
He
your
finna go after
energy
that
is
man.
up, now
And
that your
I
energy,
mute my mic. As a matter of fact, I'm
no, I don't
off.
not don't mute your mic. Can we have a dialogue real quick? I gotta go to work in like 3 hours. Can we have a dialogue, like an
And,
exchange,
I don't hate you. Go
amicably?
ahead. We're
I
family.
know you don't hate
and
me. You
yeah, and
should hate
she
me.
is
I
going
ain't
to
got no
need to
hate.
mute her mic because we're going to have to make sure that there's no echo. So muting the mic is actually out of respect. Tanjon Zoo's channel is Tanjon Zoo. I will post it in the chat room, Passionate Bliss. And Passionate Bliss also wanted to know that she felt like you gentlemen were talking. Well, no, not you gentlemen. She said the guy was talking all over her. I don't know what either was saying. She asked who was the moderator. I'm the moderator up here, but what I like to do is, again, I feel like we're adults. I don't think I feel like it. I know it. I've talked to Tanjon off the mic. I have, relationship. I understand that sometimes the approach is not the same for everyone. Even in my disposition, I'm always told, hey, I'm a little long-winded, what have you. But I think that there's something to be said about letting someone just have their say without having to be interrupted nor disrupting their thought. This is very important when you're having progressive exchange. So I just want to keep that in mind. But muting the mic is out of respect. It's not. It doesn't mean that she's disappearing or taking herself out of the conversation, brother. Just want you to know that.
No. I know she has like the reverb thing. She might have the page open on a secondary kind of thing because she's looking at the chat. She might need to
No,
mute
no,
that.
I'm not. I'm with my son. My son is playing with that his tablet, so I didn't want that noise to keep on. And I don't want to. That's what.
No. Listen, sister. What we're all trying to tell you is that when I speak, we hear an echo when your mic is on. So there's either like an alternate window open on your laptop. If you're on your phone, then it, like she said, it might just be the reverb. So I guess when we try to have an exchange, we might need to, like, I might need to shut up, and when you talk, and you might have to mute when I talk. That's all they're trying to say.
All right.
Okay, it's better now. I just know my son's tablet is he's doing this little kitty kid thing while I'm on here, so he won't interrupt me and
Mic check.
mommy all the time.
Mic check. Mic check. No, see, no, I can hear myself through your phone. So it's not better now. But listen, my sister, I really ain't come up here to argue with you. I got nothing but love for you. I think my sisters should be able to divest, do whatever they want. My problem, and I'll say this real quick, is that you should divest, but divesting because you're mad at black men and expressing that you're divesting because you're mad at black men is corny. And at this point in time, if you want to leave Blackistan, divest, swirl, do it. But don't do it based on your hatred. Do it based on you want to find love, like black men do, as y'all say, when they move outside the race. They predominantly are not coming back talking trash. The ones you do find talking trash online are single or incels. So we need to categorize people as who they are, like I categorize some of you women. Divestment, confused, pro black, whatever. I got a lot more categories, but that's how I think we should look at it. We shouldn't focus on people and try to pinpoint all of you guys, but not all of you guys, because that's a confusing message. And I feel that that's what you're putting out to me.
Okay. Well, that's false because that's not what I said. I said that I will not date black men ever again. Not because I hate them. I just had two bad relationships and they were 16 years apart. They both had the same pathology. However, like I said, if I'm gonna divest, he's gonna be a black man in the Caribbean, a black man from Cuba, West Africa. I never said nothing about swirling, like getting me a white guy. I'm not going to the plantation. That's what I'm not gonna do. But I'm definitely going to give something different a try because I the to me it's just too much of this American culture where I can disrespect the woman in the house and she ain't nobody gonna want her. I did everything else to her. That type of attitude, or this kind of stuff that I don't want to be a part of anymore because see that makes me afraid to be in relationships. A
Mm.
lot of guys are not with anyone or they're with a Becky. You know what I'm saying? They really don't want to be didn't want to be with a Becky, but they couldn't get a black woman. You know why? Because it's a lot of you gotta work. You gotta build. You gotta provide. You have to be and a lot of men don't want to do that no more. A lot of them want in the Bay Area we call simping poor and pimping. Basically, you pretend like you love her, you doing everything for her, but you're not. You're just giving her peen, and you may buy her a little bit of groceries, but after that, she got to pay that simp back 4 or 5 times fold. And then if she's done and she's tired of the abuse from that simp, and she breaks up with him and wants him out of her house, he'll jump on her because he's crying. You gonna put me out? You gonna feed me to the sharks? And he'll jump on her. That's a simp in the Bay Area. That's what we call simp. He tries to be a pimp, but can't, so he a simp. And I'm sick of simps. I have both of them. There you go.
You know what? I respect what you just said. That's some West Coast stuff. But I would come and ask before I drop off the panel. You did say that you don't want to date, I guess, FBA, ADOS, African American men. You want to date black men of other nationalities, but you do understand that they all, outside of us, live in a very strong patriarchal structure. And are you willing to submit to their patriarchal structure outside of what is afforded to you with black men?
Um, well, first of all, we gotta submit to each other. I'm not gonna be serving you. You're
Mm.
not providing me nothing but a whole bunch of lip service and making me feel miserable. I had that already. Don't want it anymore. The second thing is, if you be honest with me in the first place, I'll make a decision whether I want to stick with you or not. If you say you're into being with multiple different women a long time ago, and this what you got with me, you got with me, you like me, and I'm like, oh shit, F it, life goes on. It's all I see. Maybe I get with you. If you were honest the first time, maybe I probably would be in that and just go along to get along. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, I've been lied to. I had to find out the hard way, and I won't do it anymore. I want an honest man, and there is some good black men out there that's not about that life, and so and not all men of
I,
not
I,
all
I
black
think
men
I
of
asked the
different
question wrong.
lineage does what you're talking about. That it's not at all.
No,
You
I,
know.
I, I think I asked the question wrong. All the other nationalities live in man structured societies. We black men live in a female structured society. When asking that you're going to go there, are you willing to live in their man structured society? I.e., an example, Afghanistan right now, which is a major example, but it's smaller in Africa. It happens. Same way.
Um, Me personally, I'm not I don't look at it as male female. That's gender. That's that men versus woman thing.
Mm.
All I want is a man who I can have fun with, that we can grow, we can build together. I'm about building businesses and buying some land. I want him to be on that same path so he can build and become his own empire, and I support him on that. If that's the type of submissive you're talking about, I'm all for that. My man wants to build buildings and own infrastructures. I'm all for that. That's the kind of man I want. And then when we get home, we don't want to be bothered with nobody. We just want to kick back and watch a whole bunch of movies and chill with our kids. That's all we want. That's all the kind of man I want. That kind of family members coming over. I'm a family person, so I want a lot. I want 2 more 3 more kids out of myself, and then I want to
Hey,
adopt a couple of more. So I want a
hey,
family man.
hey,
I don't
hey,
want this pump and dump and I told you before I didn't want no kids, but yet you was making sure you didn't want to wear a condom. So I don't want that type. I don't want that. That's superficial and lame, and I'm done with it.
Yeah, I'm sweetheart. I promise you, I appreciate you. I'm from freaking Brooklyn, New York. I like your swag and attitude, so I can't even be mad at how you said it and how you laid it out. But I just think you might need to leave the West Coast. I hope you heard me right. I just think you might need to leave the West Coast. Get outside of that Bay Area environment. It might not be the East Coast. It could be Southwest, could be Louisiana, could be Northeast. But yo, get
Shout
up
out to
out
New
that
Orleans.
vibe. You got yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you got an energy that a lot of niggas outside of your area would love to handle, be around, and just deal with. And I don't say that disrespectfully. I say that as niggas from New York could take it, and like I could take your energy. I'll go back and forth with you all day, but I don't think you need to be in the Bay Area. I think like your energy is different. You need to get the fuck up out of there. And yo, that's real nigga talk advice right now. I like your vibe. I ain't here to argue with you. I just think I think your hostility is coming from that fucking area. Get the fuck up out of there as quick as possible.
It could be.
I'm
I
trying to
try.
tell you. I'm
I
trying to
I
tell you.
agree too. I agree too. I mean, you know why I said because I'm not a big Tariq Nasheed fan, right? But I used to listen to him very heavily, years ago, and he was always just talking about like how cause it was another city he was from before he moved to the West Coast, and he was just
Louisiana.
saying
No,
he's from
Alabama.
he's from yeah
Alabama.
he's
Alabama.
from South. I was about to say it ain't Louisiana. I know my Louisiana, my New
Yeah,
Orleans men's. I
he's from
know them.
Alabama. Alabama.
But yeah, so he was saying
He's in
when
LA,
he moved
sis.
to LA, when he moved to the West Coast, he was just like they were like, don't be talking like that to nobody talking like that to no bitch. And he was like, but that's your girlfriend. Like, why would I disrespect these women and things like that? And he was saying they would put girls in the trunk, like she don't deserve to ride in. Like the pimp culture is just so heavy there. That's what I said. I don't even see honestly, I saw what's her name? Her. I think it's her or SZA. One of them letter ladies. Either one. They did a song with Too Short. And I said I would never. I would never.
Now,
I
Too
mean
Short's from
never.
Oakland. He's from Oakland, but he's a lone wolf in that because if you go to Oakland, California, there's a lot of black on black love there. Now they don't do that bull crap like San Francisco and Antioch, California do. But Oakland, California is the only one that's this reminds me of Las Vegas, Nevada reminds me of Oakland, California. It's that black on black love. You got black men. Some of them are hood, like he said, niggas. I don't want to talk to no nigga. I want to talk to me a cool brother. Now I'm not against the Pookies and Ray Rays, you know what I'm
And
saying? Because I
Tyrone. And
and
Tyrone. Thank you
Tyrone, 'cause I
very
got a
much.
cousin
Don't
named
don't
Tyrone.
disrespect me. Make sure my name is in there. Pookie Ray Ray and Tyrone. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But
Well, no, now Too
Old
Short put it
Town.
on the map with the bitch culture and he the lone wolf on that one. But a lot of brothers in Oakland, California, I one thing I can't give to Oakland that's across the bay is they will protect their community. You know what I'm saying? Even against the police, they sure would. And women with loud mouths, to him, that's a sign of alphaness because if he have a baby by her, his kids not gonna be punks. He don't want no woman that act like she's too timid to talk, cause he feel like she gonna end up getting him killed, cause she's gonna panic. You got a mouth, you know how to talk. You know what I'm saying. Before I get my piece ready, or before I get something ready, cause something to go down, my woman finna come out there like, what you want, my man? Or what? And he finna get prepared, cause now I'm finna step in. I got this baby. Now I got this. You know what I'm saying? So this is how they go down in Oakland. Like you're not gonna disrespect no sister in Oakland. You're just not gonna do it. Or you're not gonna disrespect no kids. And the little pedophile culture, it was in Oakland. It ended so quick. Soon as they found out what one of them pedophiles was, everybody was at that door. Dude is missing. That's all I gotta say. Mute my mic.
Yeah, when you said Oakland, I was kind of shocked because I mean, what you just said just then. I mean, it reminds me of the Black Panther culture. You know what I'm saying? That militant, strong minded approach to everything. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely.
You know, okay, so I just have a little story about the West Coast. My grandmother actually, she cut her teeth in San Francisco in the Bay Area. She was a principal at Alamo Park High School before it got renamed, of course, the Ida B. Wells High School, which she was very much an advocate for, and she led a campaign to get it renamed that. But so my best story of the West Coast was actually at the All Star Games in 2004, and I want to just say I outside of me meeting Nas there, um, uh, I said I wouldn't want to go back. I just did not feel the it was everything felt really artificial. And I know I was in, LA. I was there for the All-Star game, so I get it, but I've attended the All-Star games in other cities and it just didn't feel like that. I've attended in Washington and of course Philadelphia. And it didn't feel like how it felt in LA. It was pretty bad. But I did meet Nam, so that was great. So we are closing out the night, y'all. My kitty wants to go to sleep. Yes, a real kitty, y'all. His name is Cloud. So we have to go ahead and close out. And I know that some of us have early mornings to look forward to. But I wanted to give everybody at least 2 minutes to basically sum up what this discussion has meant this evening. And how do you think we can continue to elevate this conversation? When I say elevate this conversation, I'm talking about in regards to the pick me, to the man me, to the divestment. What is the best advice you can give from someone, or either in 2 minutes sum up? Let's say that somebody says, hey, you were on this live. What were they talking about? What's like, what was your takeaway from it? What would that be? So definitely want to hear that from you. And I'm going to let educated Aries go first, then my girl Tan John, and then I'm gonna let you be the boogie get the last say. Tan John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. 'Cause it seems like the men are gone. So if you would like to go ahead and sum up your night and what you can take away from this conversation, that would be awesome. And you have
learned.
you have 2 minutes.
I learned a lot, and I thank you for letting us know there's still some good men out there, and women can mess up if you with a good man. But we also have to learn that not all guys portraying themselves as good men are really good men, and the women who are suffering, we must listen to them. The men who are suffering from mental anxieties and trauma when there was a child coming up, and they're that before it's too late, we got to reach out and help, and have some brothers help him get help, not let them be out on their own. We got to learn how to listen to each other if we want to protect our community. Certain things we got to get rid of. We got to have better diets. We got to focus on building. A lot of music. um, I'm gonna tell you something. I heard you say real quick about your son. You gotta have your son meet Kanye West. Me as a sister, I forbid you. um, I don't know how deep you know about the music industry and stuff, but it's dark down there, and you don't want your son going down there. So as a community, we got to start with your son. We have to protect him enough where as he gets older, he thank God my mother didn't let me be around these celebrities, because he's gonna be, let him be his own man. Like I think he's been showing you too, and I like that. I like that you be wanting to coddle him, but he doesn't want it. Um, But I think we should love each other enough to listen to each other. We don't want suffering. Black men, black women, a lot of us are suffering, but the black women are the least protected. And we have to listen to each other and not call each other names and things like that. We have to really, really listen. That's all I want to say. We just got to listen to each other because you may understand some things. You may see some things that's happening now and say, well, shoot, that didn't happen to me coming up. But I had my daddy. Most women didn't have their daddies. Most men didn't have their daddies. My son don't have his daddy. So, we got to do it. We got to, what you call it, rotate and do better for us as a community. And that's it. That's all I want to say. And thank you for letting me be on the panel.
Absolutely. Always, sis. You always have a space up here. And we are going to have to figure out and get that whole situation worked out in regards to why I can't see you in the chat. Someone did suggest go ahead, unsubscribe, subscribe again, and re-ring the bell. Like, just do everything all over. See if that helps. I'm just going to say this in closing. It's very interesting that, and again, because y'all know how I am with letting people have their say. The VDub, and we can talk about it later. VDub, my information, my email is available at Courtney. I'm sorry, I'm about to say Courtney Omega, but group glowup@gmail.com. You can go ahead and send me an email. But one of the people that you talked about being an upstanding man, this man has on several occasions accused me of something that is absolutely not true. And it's unfortunate that he's never even sat down to have a conversation with me about it. But he has accused me of being a sex offender, which I am not. And it's disgusting that, again, you can have these real you can have these real opinions about someone that you know nothing about, that you've never met. You don't have any inkling of what type of person, what type of mother, what type of being they are. And that's dangerous. So I just want to say that in my closing. But also, I want to just expound on what you said, Tanjon. What we need to understand is that all of us are fighting a battle that neither of the people may know about. So it costs you nothing to be kind. It costs you nothing to be considerate, and it costs you nothing to be compassionate. It absolutely just doesn't. And you'd be surprised how much it makes you a better person. Am I always so optimistic? No, but I can tell you what I always aspire to be. I always aspire to be a bright light in someone's day. Was I always like this? Absolutely not. But if there's one thing that my divorce taught me, it is that even your today can be somebody's yesterday. And as much as the life as I have had, it really does blow my mind sometimes when I'm looking back on that. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody have some sweet dreams tonight if you are going to bed. But if you're not, I hope that this conversation gave you all something to think about in some different ways to think about them. Definitely, like I said again, I wish nothing but understanding and the time to be peaceful with one another. But at the end of the day, I understand also that we all have our own sanity to protect, and to our families and our community, our culture to move forward. And we may feel like we're individually responsible to do that. So if someone is impeding upon that, then absolutely protect your peace at all costs. But at any rate, above all else, y'all know what to do. Glow up. Have a good night.